What's up, gamers? Welcome back to Live and Let Fly. What's going on?
Are we gamers now?
I mean, this is a tabletop role-playing game.
I'm not really into labels.
Understandable.
All right, you can go ahead and sit out of this one then.
Yeah, just log off the call, dog. We'll catch you up later.
Yeah,
then.
we'll fill you in later, dog.
Cool.
We're no longer gaming.
I just got a new label maker.
Oh, did you? For real?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love a label maker. They're exciting.
The school did. I mean, like, they got a new one this year, but they've got a bunch of them.
Cool stuff.
Sorry.
Pretty neat.
I don't have a banter topic today, everyone.
I got one.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
John coming in with the banter topic. Let's go.
So I was just thinking about it while eating pistachios. What is a food that you didn't like as a kid? Just would not fucking eat, or you tried and you just didn't like it. Now you do.
Nothing, man. I'm all chicken nuggets and French fries right now.
Still drinking chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate
That's it.
milk. Huh?
37 years old, baby. Chicken nuggets and fries.
Living the
Olives.
life.
Olives for me.
Olives. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
Man, that's
I'm going to say okra.
but
Okra.
Specifically,
I can see that.
boiled okra.
There it is. There it is. I hate that.
I had a real texture thing with it as a child, but now I've flipped it. I do not like fried okra, which is apparently like anti-Southern.
Huh?
But if you hit me with some boiled okra with like some, it's some kind of goulash or something, right? It's okra, diced tomatoes, and macaroni. And it's just like in a pot, and it's just all boiled, and it's so good. It is like the best comfort food that you've ever had. That slimy, mucusy kind of.
that's what I hate about it.
Okay.
Way to
So
sell
I
it.
don't really have an issue with like texture stuff typically, but I cannot do okra,
I like it.
especially boiled okra, unless it's
I
in
s-
like gumbo. But then it just disappears.
Yeah.
So,
I still can't do tomatoes. Every year I try, like raw tomatoes. Can't do it. Can't do it.
So, tomato is definitely one that I didn't like when I was a kid. Now, I will eat a tomato. First of all, I'll eat a fried green tomato with crawfish sauce all day long. That shit is fucking
Oh
delicious.
yeah.
If you don't know what a fried green tomato with crawfish sauce is, then clearly
It's literally that.
it's literally
that.
that. But like crawfish sauce, I think is maybe a little bit ambiguous, right? But
Well, yeah, but it's just like a cream sauce.
it's a cream sauce with crawfish in it. Yeah,
spicy
it's
cream sauce. Yeah.
super delicious. But now, if I eat it, I'll get a tomato like on my burger or sandwich or whatever. But I'll take 2 bites of it and I'm over the tomato, and then I just pull the tomato off my sandwich. Like I don't know, like I don't mind a tomato, but like I'm over it very quickly after eating just a little bit of tomato.
I've always been very curious about what it is specifically. There is some flavor of a raw tomato that, like, if it's boiled, I'm fine. Fried tomatoes are no, because they're just raw with a crispy exterior.
Yeah.
But like every other form of tomato, I'm here for. But a raw slice of tomato just tastes like, I don't know. It's just this very weird flavor profile that makes me want to vomit every time.
I mean,
think I know what you're
might
talking
be
about.
it's kind of deceptively so, but might be that the acidity of it.
Could be.
Maybe, like, as it cooks, it, like, I don't know, you're like a food person, Adam. What's the science behind that?
Yeah, you like food, Adam.
He's got his hands
No,
up.
You
Like,
eat food.
Don't ask me
he's
shit,
worked
man.
in kitchen. Like, he's a chef man.
Yeah, but I'm not a food scientist.
Well, get it together.
Gastronomist.
Listen, I just
then,
work
okay?
here, okay? I don't know anything.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, tomatoes are much like onions and like most produce, that they have a totally different flavor once they're cooked and the sugars are released. And once the sugars released, typically makes everything sweeter.
That
So-
must be it. See, you did know.
Yeah, but don't take my word for it. I'm not official food scientist.
Don't have a degree in it.
Right.
For me,
Amateur
it's
food
a lot of
scientist.
things,
I just
actually.
play one on a podcast.
I dabble.
Right.
There are a lot of things that I eat now that I did not eat when I was a very picky eater when I was young. I don't know if I was still a picky eater by the time I met Heath. Do you remember me being a picky
You were.
eater? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. No, I really was. I was the guy that only ate chicken nuggets and fucking French fries.
Yeah, you'd get like plain double cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
like, just meat and cheese. And I'd be like, you are just wasting money. What are you doing?
The thing that I did not understand was it wasn't all the other ingredients on a cheeseburger that I didn't like. It's the fucking ketchup and mustard. I still don't like ketchup and mustard.
I don't like ketchup on my burgers either.
Yeah, I don't like mustard. I like honey mustard. I don't like mustard. I will never like mustard.
You mean just like yellow
honey
mustard?
on a burger.
Well, I'll put anything on
I'm
a
just
burger
saying
except ketchup.
I like honey mustard. It's not,
Okay.
But when I started working in restaurants, a good restaurant, okay, will have you try most things on the menu when you get onboarded. A good restaurant. Shitty restaurants will let you try like one thing a day for your first week, and so you get to try 5 items, which is absolute ridiculous, right? Because how can you sell a meal? How can you describe a meal to a customer
That you've never had.
had?
Yeah.
But in having to try a lot of different things that I wouldn't have normally eaten, I realized, oh, this is actually good. I'm just a fucking bitch, Like that's what it came down to. And now I'm willing to try almost anything, at least once. Like in terms of like, will I like this food? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Shit. And if I don't like it, then I won't continue to eat it. But I'm willing to try it.
Who do you think is the pickiest eater out of this group?
Me, probably.
I'd say probably Emily. She doesn't do peanut butter.
So
It's gotta
that's
be Emily.
actually something that developed in the past like 10 years. I used to eat peanut butter as a child. Didn't have a problem with it. It's a like developed distaste.
Yeah. Heath, is there anything that you don't eat or that you didn't eat before that you've
I've been literally scrolling through pictures of like fruits and vegetables and being like, I don't know. I kind of fucks with all this.
What
you know?
food is.
But did
No,
you
I
when
know
you were
what
like
it is. I wanted lists,
12?
Right.
I mean, I've never really been picky. Like I've always eaten. I didn't love cabbage as a kid, and now I don't love cabbage, but I'll eat it. You know. Most of my kid stuff was just like it was just texture stuff, and I got over most of it. I'm not a. I guess the tomato thing to a degree, I didn't eat them much as a kid, but now, like if I go to go get a sub at, I don't know, Subway or Firehouse or whatever, like I get tomatoes on that bitch. Like
I like a diced tomato way more than a
my
slice of
big
tomato.
hang up is just the visible mayonnaise thing. Like that's
Oh, you're not a mayo lover?
Mayo is fine with me.
I will eat mayo. I don't want to see it. We've done this whole
Yeah,
thing.
we covered this.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
But
That's
I don't. I like most like vegetables and fruits. When I was a kid, I didn't like strawberries very much.
wild.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I'm not here to judge you. Like
and again, it was a texture thing.
Yeah,
oh,
same.
sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I've always had an issue with like highly
strawberries
acidic
and-
things.
Known for their terrible texture.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm having epiphanies here because my brother and I have both this thing called a geographic tongue. It's gotten so much better over the years. But when you have something like highly acidic, you get raised like whelps on your tongue. And that's why it looks like a topographical map. And so like as a kid, I really shied away from a lot of like acidic things. Like I liked the flavor of orange juice, but it fucked me up. And like strawberries, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. It's all coming together.
it's all making sense now.
It's all making sense. What
So
about
I
you,
would-
John? Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I would say for me it'd be pickles. Anything pickled. Like as a kid, they were just weird and kind of gross looking, and I didn't like the kind of tanginess and just pickles, And then,
Dude, I carried around pickles in my cheek pouches.
I still don't like pickles
but
either.
now, depending on the sandwich, I love pickles on a sandwich. Same thing with like pickled onions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and to what Adam said earlier about things being like produce being cooked, tasting super different. I cannot stand raw onions. Like it's just if it's
Yeah,
on a
raw
burger,
onions,
that's all I taste, and that's all I taste for the next couple of hours. Whereas if you give me some like sautéed onions or pickled onions,
or fried
Honestly,
onions.
that's just
baby.
better.
Or fried
Yeah.
onions.
Yeah, I will not put raw onions on a burger, but I'll put like fried onions on a burger all day long.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go.
Bro, I'm hardcore team onion. I appreciate and love the onion as a vegetable in all forms.
Yeah, I put onion on my burger. Not like a shit ton. I won't put like a whole slice. I'll take a few rings.
I'll just
and, like,
eat onions. Like when I'm dicing stuff to make, I've been cooking a lot this summer, but like I'll be dicing onions. I'll just eat a ring of it. Like I love onions.
So are you just
But
pickles
you don't
on
like
your
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I don't. He doesn't like to see mayonnaise.
See,
Yeah.
it's the visual of mayonnaise, huh? So do you get grossed out when the
I
little
also
mayonnaise
don't-
is dripping off the side of somebody's
Yes.
mouth?
It
Yes.
bugs me a lot. It's that I don't want to see it. Like I don't mind the taste of it. I don't want to see it, and I don't want to feel gloops of it in my mouth.
That's fair.
Is
That's
it because
totally
it
fair.
don't need a
reminds you
Burger
of some
King.
other white substance?
We've already done.
Can we
this.
just talk about how
man,
that's Zach and not me saying that?
I knew you were thinking it, though.
I'm proud
man.
of you,
I
Zach.
actually have one more, and there's an actual legitimate like scientific reason for it. It's Brussels sprouts.
Still
So
don't like Brussels sprouts.
well, so here's the thing though, like Brussels sprouts in the 90s or pre-90s were very different than they are now. They've actually like
Genetically modified
truly
them.
genetically changed. It's not that they've genetically modified them; it's that they undid the modifications or the changes to how they were grown to where they actually taste better now.
Oh.
And that started in the 90s. So still getting the bad crap stuff when I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6. Grew up in the 90s. And now
Me too.
they're nowhere near as bitter, which is why they're like legit. It's why you see them at pubs and stuff now, whereas before
Yeah.
they weren't like, a pub food.
So I
Yeah,
always
but like
assumed
in a
it was my
pub-
mom cooked them wrong. Like she just like boiled or steamed
they are
them.
literally different.
Okay.
Now, granted, they're
I'm gonna have
better.
to apologize to her.
Depending on how they're cooked, it can be better or worse. But like the vegetable itself it straight up tastes different than it did 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So what about you, John? You presented the topic.
Yeah, I brought it up. But okay, pistachios, as I let in with, but also pickles. Did not think about that until you brought it up, Josh. But also mushrooms.
Oh yeah, that's one too. For me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Mushrooms
definitely on
now
the
are
list
just
for sure. Yeah.
right.
Fucks with some mushrooms.
See, my take on
Always
mushrooms though is that they're basically like flavor sponges.
I'm on mushrooms right now, mother.
Yeah, right.
Y'all,
Not
hold
those
on.
mushrooms.
Ah, that was the mustard, bro.
I
Wow.
don't even know what show you're calling back to.
No,
but-
that's not
It's
even a
not.
show.
that
It's
was
a real.
No, I
It's
know.
a real life experience.
I know, but we told that story on one of these shows.
Yeah,
I've
right.
heard it.
Oh,
I know
okay.
that.
Yeah.
I know that story. Is
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So hold on. Speaking of mushrooms, there's a really interesting documentary on Netflix called Fantastic Fungi, and it's a lot of fun. and
My
you should
mother
watch it.
has been raving about that.
So great. I love it. I want to
She
go
literally
like
won't
mushroom
shut
hunting.
the fuck up about it. Yeah.
Your mom sounds like a cool lady.
I mean, she's pretty cool. She can be. She can
be.
She can
It's
be.
in moments.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to say she's always.
She's
I
on the
love her, though.
cool spectrum for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. But it's funny. It's interesting because I was thinking about this as we were talking about being a picky eater and how I was such a picky eater when I was a kid. I remember sitting around my family's Thanksgiving dinner, and all I would eat was like a slice of turkey, right? Like not like a cut turkey, and like a plain roll. And that's all I would eat.
Oh, baby.
And my family would tell me, "Oh, that's going to change when you get older. Don't worry, it's going to change." And I kept thinking, "No, y'all are fucking idiots. Quit telling me how to live my life, you fucking old people." And then now that I'm like old as shit,
Oh.
I have a little cousin who's like 16 or 17, and he's the same way. That's all he does is eat a fucking slice of turkey and a roll. And I've told him that, like, "Hey man, Kyle, dude, that's gonna change when you get older." And he rolls his eyes at me or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Now I've become my
It's
parents.
me all
Full
over
circle.
again.
Yeah.
It's full circle, baby.
So my little nephew has come to stay with me a few times this summer, and he's really interesting because he's the opposite of what you think of like kid picky eaters. Like he is damn near a vegetarian. Like he will barely eat any. He'll eat some chicken, but like he doesn't want to eat any meat. But like any vegetables, he's good with it.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Very
I like that.
interesting.
Have you tried him on tofu? I'm just really curious now.
I have not personally. I was cooking for myself. Like he had to come and stay with me, which I was down. We played Pokemon stuff, but like I had already been planning on cooking myself. I made some boudin and stuff, and like black eyed peas and stuff. And I was like, I made him a little plate, and I was like, I know that you're picky. Just try. I cut the casing up, and I just made like just a little bit of rice, just the inside of the boudin. I didn't even want him to see the casing because then he'd nope. And I was like, just try a little bite of it. If you don't like it, you don't have to. And he got the tiniest little like nugget of boudin rice,
like grain
on his
of
fork
rice,
and put it in his mouth. And he got nah. And I was like, all right, well, I tried.
You tried.
Yeah.
But he ate the black eyed peas. It's like there's bacon in there, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. So let's make a hard pivot to Starfinder on this one because I don't see a seg happening here. Segue.
Zoom.
It's my fault. It's my fault for reading that word too many times.
Segue.
And Adam, you know what, man? I appreciate you correcting me on that. I'm not gonna fault you at all because I knew that. I knew it should have been segue.
Okay.
No,
Well,
we've already talked about it before.
I know,
It's all cyclical here on
Just
STF,
trolling,
dude.
dude.
Starfinder, right? Live and Let Fly, the crew of the Independence,
Yep.
Calm 93, the Planet
We're getting
Marixa,
Yep.
all your friends acting sus
So
as
they
fuck.
say. Yeah.
Yeah,
them
hard air
reptoids.
quotes on
You find
friends.
a room. You find a
Reptoid
room where
Island.
they said they're going to go. They get their daily checkups in this building. You walk in. Nemelith and Jinx from the crew of the Winterborne are in there. Right? Are we caught up?
Yep.
Okay. So that happens. What's your response? What's your reaction?
We shoot them immediately.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man.
You're gonna roll for
Only-
initiative first.
It's the only reasonable reaction.
Spider-Man pointing around the room.
This is yeah.
So I mean, what do y'all
what-
think about seeing Nemelith? I mean, what's going through your characters' heads as this happens? Again, they did lower their weapons, right? To be clear, I don't know if that I was clear enough in the previous
you were.
episode. Okay, but just to
said
reiterate,
they said they were here to do a breakout too.
yes.
Once
Right.
again,
Yeah.
beating us to our prize.
Super
supposedly.
convenient
I
here.
think you will find
breakout,
that
but
to
it
be
might-
a recurring situation.
Oh,
It's
joy.
probably the same guy, but it might not be. We don't know
So
yet.
I'll say to him, who are you here to extract?
So obviously, Nemelith is going to do the talking for the two of them, as Jinx is mute. Do any of you speak signed common? I know I've asked
I
that
do.
before. You do, Roland? Okay, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But Nemelith, again, she lowers her pistol and she's like, "Darling, it appears that Neva and Dizzy have been abducted. We followed their trail and it led us here. Who are you here for?"
Oh, just Goofy.
Some real goofy motherfucker.
Just goofy.
No, we're here. We're here for a contact. But what were your friends arrested for?
That I do not know.
How long have they been here?
That I do not know. We have been tracking them down for the last few weeks.
Oh, wow.
When did you separate?
After our rendezvous with Agavana, yes, we delivered Agavana to her destination, and we parked the ship by spaceport. And when Jinx and I woke up, Neva and Dizzy were gone.
And how long ago was that?
As I said, a few weeks.
Few weeks.
Time is nebulous. you
How long
understand.
have you been? How long have you been here on this island?
A few hours.
Did you take the shuttle or did you dead drop in?
No, we took our ship, of course.
So we didn't see their ship
No.
at all? Mm-mm. Would it seem like we would have
No.
coming in from the top?
Given
Is that weird that we didn't see their ship?
it's not weird that you didn't see their ship.
I'd say given the way that, if we're going in belly down, we'd be looking
Yeah.
forward off to the side somewhere. And
My dear, we hit the
potentially
ship
they're not-
under the tree line in
Yeah.
the shore.
And we didn't do a lap around the island to see, so
We didn't.
I mean, that's all fair. I'm just.
No, dude, listen. I am not going to begrudge you for asking these questions, but yeah, no.
I'm checking under every
But
rock.
I will clarify when something, doesn't need to be
it
more
seems
thoroughly
weird.
examined.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I won't dig any further on that.
well,
But
I'm curious how you found out that they were here.
Well, we followed some very strange leads. It's neither here nor there, but we have every reason to believe that Neva and Dizzy are being held here, and judging by the fact that so many of both of our former associates seem to also be here as well, I think it's a pretty good guess, and I believe that we found the right place.
so, question. I'm sorry. This is an out of character question. Are there other people on this island that we've seen that we don't know?
No one on this calm that
So,
you don't
like,
know.
we don't know all the same people, us in the Winterborne. They would have interacted with other people. Like, the whole Karm thing, they had nothing to do with that.
Right. Yeah.
Do they see them? I'll say, look out this door right here. Do you see a Skittermander with a bolo and a cowboy hat on, standing next to a Patra?
With his Patra wife, yes, of course. We spoke earlier.
Okay.
But did you know them before coming down?
No, I'm afraid not.
All right.
Damn it.
Do you have any idea what's going on here?
I wish I did, darling, but unfortunately I do not.
How long have you been here?
As I said, a few hours.
A few hours, okay.
Would you like to sense motive?
Yeah.
I'll roll my own.
Okay.
I'll roll my own.
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Ugh, not much better. 19 for Morgan.
Yeah, I got a 13.
Also,
Okay.
never mind. 5.
Fine, I'll roll it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Nope, it's a 13.
I mean, if we're all I'll try for a natural 20.
Come on,
Get in
man.
there.
Come on, get in there.
Nope.
What'd you get?
11.
Okay. So I will say that although Nemelith's appearance is quite sinister, for those of you who maybe don't remember, she appears to be an older Hilki? I'm not sure the
Hilki,
pronunciation.
right?
Hilki.
Yeah, I think
Red-skinned
Acatonian
humanoids,
human,
yeah.
bright red skin, Acatonian human. She appears to be older, maybe even as old as 60. She has stark white hair that's lush and flowing, but it is like shaved on one side and pulled to the other.
She was knockoff
And-
Ziva.
And yeah, and she's got a prominent septum ring, and her clothes are very, very fashionable, but like kind of gothy. You know what I'm
Edgy.
saying? Okay,
Yeah.
edgy, right? So she does appear quite intimidating. However, nothing that you can glean from these roles suggests that she is not being forthright with you.
Okay.
And who did they say? Jinx?
Dizzy
Jinx.
Dizzy and
is
Jinx?
missing.
No, Neva, the captain, the Yosoki captain of the Winterborne.
Okay.
And Dizzy, the Dragonborn mechanic.
The one we fell in love with, basically.
And we didn't see either of them.
You have not seen either of them on this island.
Of course, we haven't seen Lyndall either.
Correct. Yeah, those are. I mean, from what you have seen on the island, those three people, who collectively you're all looking for, have most definitely been absent from the crew that you've seen.
Telepathically, Hestia says to Jinx, sign to the captain the letter of your true first name.
Oh!
Okay.
I like it.
Sign to the captain the letter of your true first name.
That's good, Heath.
Absolutely. So, Roland, in common, you see Jinx look to you. I'm sorry. you see Jinx look to you and signs in common the letter X.
And telepathically, as soon as that happens, Hestia says, I don't speak signed common. What letter was that?
It was X.
They are who they say they are.
All right. Well...
So Nemelith speaks up again and says, so, again, you said you were here for Goofy?
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
It's not his real
Lindelith
name.
is his first name, but we call him Goofy.
He is a goofy, foolish character.
Yes.
You know him?
No, I'm just presuming based on your
right,
description
I'd
of
say
him.
that's an accurate presumption.
Yeah,
Yes.
based on the word goofy.
He is a
Why
human-sized
would you
dog
endeavor to
with a
save him
pet
then?
Dog.
That's neither here nor there. There's other things.
you brought it around? Oh, okay.
That's neither here nor there. They're just somebody. They are part of a job that we're on, and when we came here, we were overwhelmed with so many people from our recent past, and that's really kind of thrown us a bit for a loop. I want to just grab Lindell Goofy and get them off this island, but I worry that perhaps our friends are actually in trouble here. I'm not sure what's going on, but have you noticed that everything is a little off? Have you spoken to the other inhabitants of this island at all?
Darling, everything on this island seems a little off, yes. We spoke with them briefly, of course, and they all seemed quite enthusiastic about being here. I suppose that one could interpret this island as a paradise of sorts. However, it is not my personal idea of paradise.
Don't you think that it's a bit odd and overly coincidental that all of these people were arrested by in this specific jurisdiction and come to this specific prison and this specific island in a galaxy that's beyond number?
It's a bit too much
of
of a
course I do.
coincidence.
I think you would have to be a fool not to think that the whole thing was suspicious.
Right, so do you have any thoughts on what is happening here?
She thinks about it for a second and she says, Darling, I'm afraid I do not know exactly. I can safely assume that they've all been kidnapped, but by whom, I am not sure.
You are in here. What have you discovered in this room?
Not much, but if you would care to help us search, then we might work together. Now, I know that you care about more than credits.
Credits are good, though. We don't dislike credits.
Darling, of course credits are good. We all work for credits, but sometimes it's about more than credits. Would you not agree?
It's not so much about more or less than. It's equally valuable, and we actually really need some credits. Excuse me for one moment. The rest of you help them search. I'll be right back. And Roland steps out.
Of the building?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall the camera follow Roland? Would you like to do that?
We can. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens with Roland?
So I'm gonna go and be like, calm.
God. Okay.
or whatever voice you want to do. Whoever is easiest for you to do.
Carm is fine. You know, I mean, he and Donnie have started walking off, so you'd have to like yell for him.
Yeah, calm.
He would hear his name being called, turn around, be like, Roland, my boy, what can I do for you?
I just have one question. I know I've asked you a lot. I also want to apologize for punching you in the face. It's been a long day, and I did not think that you were who you said you were, and that's on me. I do have a question for you, though.
Okay, well, shoot.
Have you seen a Dragonkin and a Yusoki around here as well?
Yeah, I have. I sure have. Are they not around the island?
I'm asking you that.
Well, I'm saying, yes, I have seen them. They are here.
Where are they?
My boy, your guess is as good as mine.
Have you played board games with these two individuals?
Naturally.
And do you know what they are here for?
Well, Roland, we're all here because of the horrible crimes that we have committed, and we are trying to atone for our grave sins.
Right. I understand. I think that's finally sinking in. Okay, thank you very much, Karma. I'll leave you to whatever it is that you are doing.
All right, cheers, Roland. Have a lovely day. And he waves as they walk off.
He'll make his way back into
Okay. While that is going on, quickly, Nemelith and Jinx obviously are still in the room, and Nemelith would turn to you, Tia, and say, Hestia, correct?
Yes.
My dear, my associate speaks very highly of you. I am curious. I would like to know more about you and how you came to meet. If you don't mind divulging such information.
Well, that was an unfortunate part of my journey.
I sense that you do not trust me, Hestia. Would that be accurate?
Actually, I believe you two at least are who you say you are. Now, I don't know you particularly well, but I have no reason to distrust you.
That is fair. However, in the spirit of mutual interest and mutual understanding, would you like me to tell you more about myself in exchange for information about yourself?
A trade. Yes. That will do.
Very well. Very well. So, yeah, Nemelith is again, you can tell that Tia, roll a sense motive, I guess. Just roll a sense motive.
Oh, I'm very bad at it.
Well, you know.
16.
Easy enough, DC 15.
Sweet.
You can kind of you get just a vibe, right? You get a little Sheeran wavelength that you think that Nemelith may be doing this at like Jinx's behest or something, obviously, right? You know, like it's not that she wants to tell you about her life, but that Jinx seems to be trying to convince her that you are trustworthy, and she is trying
okay.
she
like
is trying
Jinx
to
is trying
alleviate
to,
your
trying to get me to open up to prove that we're on the level.
Yeah, you can tell that Jinx is trying to get a fig leaf going here, as it were.
Okay,
right?
I like it.
But anyway, Nemelith says, very well, I shall tell you about my story because I believe it may be somewhat unique and may help you understand me better. And she like rolls her eyes as she looks at Jinx. And she says, you are aware that there are multiple realities, yes? Not just planes, but entire timelines, entire realities that most cannot access or interact with, never experience in their lives.
I have heard of these things as witch warpers and precogs exist, so...
I am what you would call a witch warper.
Very cool.
Oh, this is your fault. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, she goes on and she says, I am from the future, but not your future. You see, I do come from Akiton. However, not the Akiton that you are familiar with. You see, in my time, Akiton was visited, I should say visited, a very, very powerful woman came to Akiton and liberated our people and galvanized us under the chains that bind of the Lord Zan-Kuthon. You see, the people of Akiton were not in the best way, you could say. Everyone has their problems, but this powerful woman, we call her the Herald of Zan-Kuthon. She taught our people the ways and gave us strength and power. And with that strength and power, we were able to repel an invasion on the scale that the Pact Worlds have never seen. She reigns over our people as a wonderful ruler, and we all follow her teachings. They call me Lady Painbringer. However, during what I would call a routine extraplanar jump, I appear to have miscalculated in my spellcraft, and I wound up falling through an extra-dimensional planar rift. And I ended up in the drift, where Neva and Jinx found me. You see, we take these things very seriously. Neva saved my life, and I will honor the chains that bind. And that's why I am here to protect her. Now, imagine my surprise when I arrived in your reality and discovered that the woman that I know to be my leader, the Herald of Zan-Kuthon herself, is nothing but a clawless politician.
Whore! I'm sorry.
You can imagine my disappointment. However, I have been unable to discover a way to get back to my own timeline. And so for now, while I'm here, I will loyally serve Captain Nivarovo.
Okay. One, I did not clear this cannon. Two, some clarification. Okay. She has been here. This is the same person from a different timeline that we've been talking to the whole time we've known her. Right?
Yes, again, she came.
So this isn't a new version of somebody we've read.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right,
she's
cool.
always been from another timeline.
I got it. Okay. All
That
right.
is why. I'm sorry. Is that in the book?
Of course not.
Like, I mean, that she's just from.
Is
I mean, I don't know.
primary podcast in the book?
No, not that bit, but that she specifically is just from another timeline.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
Yes,
That's
yes.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hestia.
So anyway,
looking-
all I'm saying is, if you think she looks like Ziva, this may be a reason why.
Wow.
She's got a little influence from the Herald. It's like weird because we can't talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil the other thing.
Yeah.
But that is awesome. That's that's wild. It
Yes.
blew my mind a little
Yeah.
bit for sure.
That made me happy.
So the look on Adam's face when you started, though, of that, like, wait, hold up a second, and then like, I didn't approve of this, and then be like, okay, I see what he's doing. Yeah, I'm pretty much okay with this now.
That's pretty much my thought line. So I missed a lot of what she was saying. That's what I was thinking.
To recap,
Right.
in her time, the Herald of Zan-Kuthon came to Akiton, liberated all of the people of Akiton, and taught them the ways of Zan-Kuthon to give them power, which they used to repel an intergalactic invasion.
Wonder
Do
what
we
that
know
was.
do we know what the invasion was?
I think we
I
do.
don't want to spoil anything in the other show.
Okay, I got you. Okay, heard.
But I just like that choices that we make can create,
Yeah.
branching
Rifts.
timelines, as
Right,
it were.
Right. Right.
I'm here for this shit, baby. I love
I'm
it.
sure you are. I'm sure you are.
Why did she tell us all that?
Because she
Jinx
wants
asked her?
you. Jinx asked her to because she wants you to trust her.
Okay.
Because obviously, you may need to work together on this. And I also could not think of any fucking way in which y'all would actually ask her about herself, and I really like her lore. So.
Sure.
Am I misinterpreting when I was under the impression, I guess, that Jinx wanted Tia to prove that we are trustworthy as well.
Well, it goes both ways. Trust is
Right,
a two-way
okay.
street, my friend. So,
Right.
again, she asked you to share about yourself, but you get the sense, Tia, that she kind of already knows, right? So this may be testing your honesty,
Right.
because again, Jinx knows, right?
Sure.
So-
But I mean, I couldn't know whether Jinx would tell her the whole story. you know?
Absolutely.
Right.
So,
Okay. So Hestia listens to Lady
Nemelith.
Painbringer's story a little bit wide-eyed. I mean, that is quite the reveal, quite a backstory. Though I imagine living in that world and knowing of the existence of all these other planes and stuff, maybe it's just not as shocking to them as it would be to me, Heath, but still
Yeah.
very cool. But yeah, Hestia is a little bit wide-eyed and takes a few moments to kind of soak it in whenever the story is concluded, and then says, well, first of all, I vomit in your mouth for sharing your frankly hard to believe, though I do believe you, story with me, and I suppose in your eyes your unfortunate story. Also, kind of hard to follow that up. I feel like my story is going to be very boring in comparison, but I will share as we have agreed to trade. I am from this world, in this timeline, mind you. I grew up in a religious community. My mother is a religious leader, followers of Hylax, hence my last name. But my father was a handyman, an engineer, and I always took after him. And so after being a very good student when I was young, I was accepted into Sundaratu University in Marixa, where I excelled and was able to achieve my degrees, and then joined the military academy, Rajadan Military Academy in the capital. However, my family was never particularly wealthy, and on top of not being wealthy, my community was struck with a disease, a sickness, and I got into some regretful happenings to try and finance a cure for their sickness, and that led me to smuggling. And so I completed a few missions, was able to procure the medicines that my people needed, or at least some of them, and on what ultimately ended up being my last job, my crew was caught.
yes, as I've heard it told by a young steward named Zegas Cervantes.
Yes,
She looks over at Jinx.
indeed. Well, young Zegas, spent some time with me in while I was imprisoned, and mostly, I would assume, due to boredom, communicated with me. He would write me letters, and I would write back, and we just were both, I assume, I don't mean to speak for him, but lonely. And I sat in jail for a while and explained to Zegas my situation and how it led me to smuggling, and in a decision that I have always pondered over and wondered about, Zegas decided to free me and erase all records of my imprisonment, and then left the stewards for his own career in smuggling.
Indeed. Indeed, that is what he has told me as well. He says that you were quite the inspiration. The tales of your exploits were extremely inspiring.
I would hardly consider my experience inspiring, but apparently it struck a chord with young Zegas. Did I miss anything, Jinx?
He shakes his head and he signs in common, which I guess you don't understand, but
No,
Roland
because
would.
we wrote letters.
That it's good to see you again, Tia, is what he says.
Roland kind of, a little taken aback by all the information, because this is all new to us too, as well, right?
Right.
You haven't told
Yes.
this story to us. Yeah.
Not in such
Not in this-
explicit
yeah,
terms.
Not in this detail. And Roland just looks over to Hestia, puts a paw on her back, and says, he returns the sentiment.
Hestia sits there quiet for a good while, having not shared this story really like in any detail, and mostly trying to avoid talking about or thinking about it for the last several years. She was exiled, and that's what led her to end up working for Edge Corp. And there's a lot of emotion kind of going through and relief, I'd imagine, at kind of letting that all air out, letting everybody know where she stands. And after a couple of moments, she very calmly walks over to Jinx and just wraps her arms around Jinx and and telepathically says, "Thank you."
He would certainly embrace you, Tia. He is substantially taller than you are, as he is a Verthani.
Right.
I mean, 15 feet tall. No, I'm just kidding. He's not 15. I believe they're about 8 feet tall, something like that. Right. So yeah, I mean, but he would embrace you, and he would pat you in the back when you said thank you and everything like that, and give you a thumbs up. So again, is there anybody else have any thoughts on this? I mean, kind of try to slip in a little backstory reveal without having to do a flashback.
Yeah.
So I hope it wasn't too heavy-handed.
No, but Roland will say, I hesitate to break up such a touching reunion. And thank you both for sharing your stories. But we are infiltrating a prison, even if it doesn't seem like that on the surface. So I suggest perhaps we get our heads in the game, try to find those that we are here to find. Perhaps find out what's going on here, and then get out of here before we succumb to whatever mind trickery is afoot.
Yes, well, the first step was learning whether or not we could trust each other, and I think we can safely say we have evolved.
We have
Too right.
evolved.
Telepathically, Morgan would speak to Tia, say, "When we're back on the ship, I want to hear more. When we're back on the ship, And like there's a pause and everything. Like they don't even know quite how to, like what to say in this moment. So
she just kind of nods at you, looking a little confused. You know, like Hestia is always willing to be, you know, forthcoming and be a friend, but is also, I think, the expression you would read is like, "But I shared it all," you know, like. But no, that yes, we can talk.
Yeah. So I mean, Nemelith says, "I am of the same mind. I have searched this entire island. This building is the only place that we have not thoroughly searched. I cannot find anything of my captain or Dizzy anywhere. There must be something here that we are not seeing. Let's look around the room, shall we?"
All right.
Yeah. Well, what do we see?
Okay. So,
Round of perceptions or what?
yeah, we're going to need a round of perceptions. This is, like I said, this is a regular like examination room, right? There's 2 exam tables, a series of storage cabinets, medical supplies everywhere, you know. But some perceptions all around.
got a garbage roll for a dirty 20.
Got a 27.
Okay.
15.
15, 27,
15.
15 for Tia.
18 for
18
Gadget.
for Gadrick. Okay. As you're all looking around, you know, nothing really sticks out, but Roland, as you're kind of like looking around the south part of the room here, the building, you grace your foot over a pressure plate near the south wall on the floor, and you press it, and a hidden door opens, leading down to a staircase.
I do believe we found something here, and kind of steps aside to reveal the staircase that goes lower. I'm always of the mind that there's no time like the present. I'm happy to take point on this. Would you all care to join us as we go into the depths of whatever this island is?
I'm assuming you're asking Nemelith and Jinx, and not your crew.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they are. Oh, of course, darling. Let us get our friends and compatriots back, shall we?
Yes.
So we're going down the stairs.
We're going down the stairs.
Going
Going down the stairs.
As we go down the stairs, do I see any, or once we get to the base, do I see any like numbers, like a 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42?
Seriously. Am I hearing Geronimo Joe?
Unfortunately, not. No, unfortunately not.
You all, everybody.
I'd say
That's Drive
fortunately
Shaft.
we don't.
Yeah.
Dried suck.
Yeah. All right. We should be on a map here. Please tell me that all the everything's working.
Yep, looks like it.
Okay. All right. So the gang's all here.
It looks like we're.
So you find
just
yourself in a little foyer. Okay, at the bottom of the stairs. There's a set of there's just a little bit of room for you all here in the foyer, and a set of double doors.
So this is not stone around me, huh?
No, this appears to be a very.
I like it though. I like the
Underneath
try.
you know, just this, from what you can tell from these walls, this is it's like a very sterile but very, advanced appearing sort of facility.
Mm-hmm.
Down
Right,
here in
so-
this bunker.
Yeah, and it looks like there's only really one way out through some double doors, right?
There's some double doors, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Vincent.
Right. Okay. No time like the present, like you said. But the game's paused.
Oh. Sorry, folks.
Can't move, Captain.
Don't
try
mind him.
now.
Every mission we go on, he
All right,
refers to
Roland
as
and
the
Vincent,
game.
you are
The
approaching
game.
the door.
Yeah, we'll do a quick perception.
Okay.
On the
Go
door.
ahead and give me perception checks then.
Right. Let me get old Vinny's dog.
Another 27.
Nice.
That is a 17.
Okay. All right. So Roland, with your 27, you notice a distinct hallmark of perhaps a trap.
Gadrick, seems as if those trap tools would come in handy sooner than I had hoped. Can you join us here at the front and see what magic you can work on this door that seems to be trapped?
Well, see, here's your first mistake there, Cap. I don't use magic. But I'll see what I can do for you.
So Gadrick, you
After
can roll a perception check as well to Roland can point it out, but in order to suss out what
Okay.
natural.
Nope. That's an 11.
Okay.
So, okay.
I'm not quite seeing what you like. What's
It's
all
right
to-
there. It's right there. Look, right here.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Mike.
All right. For the sake of not just something being ridiculous, Roland, you can point out these traps. Gadrick, you can use a little, just knowledge to determine that this is a shock grid trap. That the floor that you're standing on is trapped.
Oh, well, I don't know much care for
So
that.
you can attempt to disable this trap with an engineering check.
Yes, use those fancy new tools as Roland steps back a couple squares.
Nice.
Do you have trap tools or
I
something?
bought him. I bought him a trap toolkit.
Okay, so what does that give you a bonus to an engineering roll? What's up with that?
Let me see, because that is...
Something you hadn't dived into yet?
You hadn't put it on your. You didn't put it in your inventory. I bought it with my hard-earned money, bro.
Just hard-earned 20 credits.
I mean, I had...
It's going to give a let's see, a +4 to any engineering or mysticism checks to arm or disarm traps.
Okay.
It's a really good item that I
It
bought.
is a really
for
good
you,
item,
dude.
yeah.
I'm really hurt that you don't even have it in your bag.
Okay, I've got it now. It's a +4 bonus, so let's make that happen.
All right, go for it. Engineering with a
All right.
+4?
Everybody back up. Get as far away from this door as you can. If this thing
Say that,
goes...
and you turn around and we're all like, okay. We're already like,
If this thing goes sour, I want to be the only one to be a crispy critter, you know what I'm saying?
you got this.
Like some help?
I mean, if you don't mind getting a little tickle, maybe.
Yeah, Tia, you can certainly assist, but if y'all fail this check, you will both get zapped. Most
I
definitely.
I will go ahead and give Gadrick enhanced communalism, so you can roll it twice.
Okay.
I will auto aid you.
Yes, you're gonna have to move up next to him now.
Yeah.
Now, that aid, does that apply to one or both?
I mean, I can. That's up to.
Oh, yeah,
Zach.
you can auto aid, so you can aid on
I
either
would
one,
think
yeah.
both.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
All right.
Like it's.
Let's see, +2. Rolling. First one's a 31, and the second one...
No, it's more than that, unless you've already
He added the 2.
Oh, I did add the 4. So it's a
You didn't add
35.
the 4.
The other one is a 35.
You rolled the same thing both times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luckily, either one would have been good enough to disable the trap. So Gadrick, with a little sweat coming down your brow, catching in your mustache, you cut the right wires and disable the trap, and the door is safe to open.
Mantis hands Hestia a tissue, and Hestia takes the tissue and wipes Gadrick's brow.
Dab.
Now you see why I got a mustache. It helps when I'm, doing some little bit of handiwork. It keeps the drippies out of my stuff,
Sweat catcher.
Pretty much. You guys wonder why it's so luscious.
Oh.
Is that why?
No, I'm just saying you wonder.
Okay.
Frequently.
But hey, guys,
I've wondered whether it's real or not several times.
I wonder the same thing, man. Guys,
Still not answering the question.
Yeah,
Doors
so
open.
you disable the trap
Or
and
trap's
unlock
clear.
the door for what it's worth. The door was locked, but I'm gonna roll that over. You know, there's no need to split hairs on this one. So, can y'all not open the doors? Boop, boop.
Yeah, we can. I was just waiting for Hesty to get out the way.
Oh,
But you're welcome to go through first if you want.
Oh, I can't. I gotta go back because I can't see Mantis.
All right, we're all making our way
yep.
into the room.
you all make your way in, Nemelith and Jinx as well. And so this room, this looks like a reception room of sorts. You know, like an intake. There are a few desks with computers at them that you can infer maybe the patients are brought here and interviewed or you know, have their information taken down in some way, something like that, right? Everyone roll perception checks as you're looking around the room.
19.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm killing these perceptions. Got the keen eye this evening. That's a 28 total.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, very good. So anybody that rolled higher than a 16,
Oh, sweet. Nice.
okay, as you're looking around, you notice on the floor of this room are the destroyed and scattered remains of Dizzy's drone Digit.
Oh no!
And we'll see ya.
Dang.
I
That's some
build her.
That's a joke.